Hello everyone, this is Gamer, and welcome back to Shudder. Let's do the final chapter of this game, and finish it off. Chapter 4, A Murder of Crows. Oops. Okay. Nothing suspicious so far, besides the noise of crows. Upload that. Oh, no. Great. Lovely. I see a shadow of a crow. April 24th. Oh, so that... Oh, I got an achievement. So that's what happened. April 24th, 1936. I'm not sure what to do. Oh god. It happened so fast. Those damn crows. To hell with them. They brought this. They brought him. I heard them outside causing a commotion, and I just wanted them quiet. And when the lightning struck, I saw it. I saw my place in the ground. A premonition. He was coming for me. I tried frantically to get back inside, but the doors were all blown shut. The whispers were piercing, perched atop my shoulders. I could hear him everywhere. But then I saw it. The shovel. He was coming towards me. Metal and bone, and then the body crumpling to the ground. He's still there now. Silent. The whispers have stopped. They'll never believe me. They'll say it was my fault. I have to hide him. And the crows are gone. Whoa! What the? Okay. There goes the shovel again. Ooh! Wow. Okay. That's not cool. Oh, Jesus. Huh. Am I supposed to take a picture of that? Gotcha. That is totally a ghost. This photo is making me shudder. I need to show this to the crew. I'll be back in a few minutes. All these doors are locked, except for this shed one. Okay, this door was not open before. Ooh! Ooh! Epilogue, a stroll through the fog. Oh, I play as a person now? Oh my god. Get into that house and retrieve that drone for us. It's worth more than your life. What? That's not right. Great. Okay, now it's really scary now. Whoa! Jesus. Oh my god. Oh no! Bruh, no. Come on! Oh, come on. Whoa. Come on. Great. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm actually really scared right now. I'm actually like legit terrified. Oh, Jesus! Well, there you go. That has been shuttered. Wow. I have to say, for this game, it was pretty cool, but that epilogue was so scary. Like, oh my god. Anywho, I'm going to end my video here. If you like this series of videos, please give this video a like, comment on this video on how you like the game so far, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gaming videos like these. Alright, this has been Gamer. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next mini gameplay video or the next video game series. Bye everyone. Oh, I just realized there's an officer's report right here. Let's read it. Officer's report. Reporting officer, Constable Darren Brimley. Date of incident, April 24th, 1936. Huh. Interesting. Description of events. At 8:36 p.m. on the evening of April 24th, 1936, a woman by the name of Mary Hemsworth entered the police station, looking noticeably distraught and panicked. She claimed that her husband, Charles Hemsworth, had left the house that night after supper and had not returned. After further questioning, we were able to ascertain the following information. Charles had a history of erratic mood swings and would often leave the house to go for evening walks in the woods to clear his mind, as he put it. However, he would always return to her a few hours later. There were also times when she would occasionally awake in the middle of the night to find Charles missing. Although she was concerned, he was never injured, and he always seemed noticeably calmer upon his return, so she saw no reason to alert anyone, as she had become accustomed to his absence. Despite his lack of explanations as to where he was, their house was a small place in the fairly remote location of Forest Hill Road. Actions taken. Immediately upon hearing the rendition of events from Mrs. Hemsworth, I've traveled to the Forest Hill Road area to question the few surrounding residents. Upon arriving at 3193 Forest Hill Road at approximately 10:30 p.m., I was greeted by the owner of the cabin, Miss Valerie Collins, who had recently reported that she was hearing strange sounds around her cabin, although I was unaware at the time that she was the owner and sole resident of the place. She promptly allowed me in. When I asked her about the disturbance she had reported to us earlier, I saw what seemed like a masked smile. Then she stated that she hadn't heard anything at all that night, and had been breathing peacefully since her dinner. When asked if she had seen anyone resembling Mr. Hemsworth, she quickly replied with, "You're the first visitor here in months." I then asked Miss Collins if I could do a quick sweep of her property. She seemed hesitant at first, and then nodded quietly. As I searched the premises, she began to grow more and more uneasy, and at points become irritable. She began looking towards the front door, hoping that I would follow her lead. Upon entering the backyard, I observed what seemed to be a shovel with a dent on the bottom side of the metal portion. Before I was even able to question Miss Collins about it, she quickly spat out the words, "I hit a rock while I was gardening." As I left the cabin, Miss Collins said something ominous that seemed out of character. She stopped me by the arm and stared coldly into my eyes. All she said was, "I hope you find him, Constable. The woods are so dark, you never know what could be out there." Other than some erratic behavior, I found no reason to bring Miss Collins in for more questioning, although I'm not completely ready to rule her out of the case altogether. As of this point, the whereabouts of Mr. Helmsworth are still unaccounted for. Oh, interesting. Follow-up date, May 2nd, 1941. 5 years have passed since the disappearance of Charles Helmsworth. After interviewing the surrounding residents of the Forest Hill Road area, we have come to what seems to be a dead end in the case. From the interviews that we have held, we've been able to learn that almost all of the residents We've been able to learn that almost all of the residents have heard or witnessed what seemed like a thin man lurking around the woods late at night, whispering to himself in a deep voice. Though no one was able to provide an accurate description of the person, many described the figure to be around 5'8" to 5'10" in height, with a slim build similar to Mr. Helmsworth. Many of them often recall seeing the figure moving towards the direction of 3193 Forest Hill Road as well. As we found no signs of a struggle at 3193, we've been forced to rule it out as the possible location of Mr. Helmsworth's disappearance. The widow of the victim, Mary Helmsworth, actually seems to be adjusting well to the loss of her husband, and was noticeably happier when we interviewed her last, saying that life goes on, I guess. Current case status. Although he is currently presumed to be deceased, the case of the disappearance of Mr. Charles Helmsworth is still open and being investigated. Interesting. Hello everyone, this is Gamer. I know I've ended this video for this game, but there's something that I also realized I didn't click on. It's this thing right here. It says next mission. I wonder what it means. What? Raven Shield assignment, confidential. Kent Island Prison. Confidential. Kent Island Prison, east of Baltimore. Built in 1946 on top of an old stone prison facility dated around 1600s. Kent Island Prison was modernized and updated to alleviate the pressure from an overcrowded mainland prison system. With so many people aimlessly and jobless after the war had ended, as well as an astounding increase of access to firearms, crime became an accepted alternative to many. Essentially, only the most dangerous, serial killers, mentally insane, rapists, etc. were shipped to this island, as they were the least likely to ever receive parole. Not to mention, this would keep them from ever having the chance to escape back into society. As well, most of them were sentenced to death, and this is where Baltimore had decided that 95% of their executions were to take place. Prisoners were actually taken by boat to Poplar Island, a small peninsula located just west of Kent Island, but the ferry actually left from Kent Island. When voting on the name for the prison, the city of Baltimore felt that Poplar Island Prison actually sounded too whimsical and opt instead for the much more severe sounding Kent Island Prison. The prison facilities were located on the southwest point of Poplar Island. Rather than having the correctional officers travel daily by boat to the island, the city of Baltimore opted instead to construct a small community of houses and other amenities for the guards on a small island just east of the southern point, Coach's Island, also nicknamed Warden's Point. A little known fact about this was that the city of Baltimore discreetly and almost exclusively hired young men in their 20s and 30s to ensure that guards were more attentive to their duties, as they were not as likely to have families, thereby eliminating their need to leave the island and return home for any extended period of time. To ensure the safety and comfort of the guards, a small tract of land was built between the two islands to connect the two, complete with reinforced metal gates and sniper towers on either end. The pathway was later named Raven's Pass due to the excessive amount of ravens inhabiting the surrounding forest. Guards were heard to describe it simply as deafening. Suffice it to say, prisoners had almost no interest in approaching Warden's Point, as they were much safer in the prison, which is a scary thought. It is believed that from the point of its creation to its eventual collapse, over 3,300 inmates died at Kent Island Prison, with over 80% of those being carried out via the electric chair. 10% of those came by hanging, and a small percentage was tallied through firing squad. Multiple fatal incidents were also rumored to be attributed to guard-related activities. However, when researchers looked into the matter, all of these occurrences were simply filed under accidental death. As at the time, the prison wasn't required to include any details past name of prisoner and time of death. Cause of death was mysteriously excluded from the paperwork, hence the creation of the accidental death category. Guards were notoriously violent on Kent Island, and were trained as such. Dealing with obviously dangerous individuals led many guards to extreme levels of conflict resolution. As it was commonly referred to, savagery may be a more accurate term. Prisoners were often starved and sent to solitary without due cause. They were also routinely assaulted and were commonly beaten to a point of disability, both physical and mental, and sometimes they were outright killed. For many of those sentenced to death, a mental handicap would be seen as a small relief, as at least they were no longer constantly aware of their inevitable execution. These prisoners were then sent to the psych ward for further treatment and rehabilitation, although rehabilitation simply meant a straitjacket in a padded cell. For many of the guards who were unable to rise to this level of conflict resolution, the psych ward became a permanent stay for them as well. The stress of not only dealing with the criminally insane, but their intensely violent co-workers as well could occasionally result in a mental or emotional breakdown, coupled with uncontrollably violent outbursts of their own. If one of these officers ever turned on a fellow guard or prison employee, they were automatically sent to the psych ward for a minimum period of 1 month. Many of them never returned to duty. In 1971, shortly after the 25th anniversary of Kent Island Prison, the violative situation that both guard and inmates had been living in for the past two decades resulted in one of the worst prison riots in American history. Over 300 inmates and 62 guards fell victim to the riot, and an entire cell block C, burned down during the altercation. Upon the resulting federal and media investigation into the infamous riot, the abhorred conditions of the system were brought into light, and within months the complex was completely shut down, and all remaining prisoners were transported to correctional facilities or mental wards appropriately across the eastern coast of the United States. The correctional officers and employees alike who were stationed on Warden's Point also abandoned their living facilities and returned to the mainland to search for new employment. In their exodus, the small island was left heavily vandalized and stripped of almost all valuables. Whatever wouldn't fit on the departing ships was left for the force to reclaim. Alright, last page. Though the island was still completely inhabitable, stating that the Kent Island prison left was so dark that surrounding villages and towns had all but claimed the island to be forever contaminated. So the island was almost completely secluded for almost 3 decades. In the early 2000s, a coal mining company, Black Rock Industries, discovered a small deposit of coal and subsequently created a mine on the southern shore close to the site of the abandoned prison. They then purchased the island at an extremely discounted price. However, in 2010, after a slow process of building a processing plant on the island, the employees of the company mounted a protest against the idea of living on the island next to the Kent Island prison, stating various reasons such as mental and physical health violations, even though they had not yet set foot on the island. This resulted in further complications and delays in the construction of both the mining facilities and the surrounding community for the workers, as they are legally responsible for the safety and security of the island and any employee currently residing on the island. Black Rock Industries had contracted a small security company, Raven Shield Securities, to maintain watch over the Kent Island prison facility to ensure vandals, etc. cannot do any structural/facade damage to the building until they were able to procure the proper legal documents to demolish the facility properly. Raven Shield Securities was the only company to accept the Kent Island prison contract. In fact, they were the only company to even review it. Interesting. And it goes back to the first page. Alright, I've already read this, I believe. Yes, I did. Now let's check out the surveillance photos. Alright, next photo. Interesting. I wonder if this is going to be DLC that they're going to release for this game, or is this going to be a sequel to this game? Wait, what does that say? Wait, go back to that photo. Thank you. What does that say? It looks like it says hell right there. Alright, next photo. Interesting. Oh, that looks like a gurney. This looks like a chapel. I can tell because there's a cross right there. There's those glass veins right there. I mean, stainless glass or stained glass. And that's about it. Alright guys, this has been Gamer. Peace out. And I'll see you on the next video game series. Bye everyone!